Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And this evening, we have the amazing Aurora Luna, who's just such an amazing inspiration and a transmission of light within herself as well. And I remember meeting Aurora for the first time in Mount Shasta. And but serendipity took me to this place where I saw this information of this healer, and I knew I needed to go. I knew I needed to book a session, and I'm getting the chills talking about it now. And the energy transmission, and also the recognition and acknowledgement of the energy that Aurora was running, and your awareness of it, and her very keen attunement to the subtle intelligence that she was awakening within me was just profound. And from there, I knew I had to have her on the show. I knew I had to share Aurora with as many people as possible. And here we are many seasons later, and that bond of that camaraderie and appreciation for the light that she brings continues, and it grows even more so as I get to know even more. But it's an amazing experience of what we're going to be talking about, and important, as Aurora is going to take us into the rising phoenix, finding stability through change. And there's an acclimation and attunement that happens in this, and there's probably going to be a process or a transmission that Aurora will guide us through today as well. So I hope that you guys take the time to really count this as you time, and open to receive and energetically participate, dance as well, without you needing to know that you're dancing or doing, but just in the being it, again, in the surrender, there's something that gets unleashed. The rising phoenix, the dragging, the creator inside of you, what's ready to create in a whole new different way. So I hope you guys, again, enjoy this call, and we'll also get into live Q&A. So if you want to ask your personal question, raise your hand or type your question into the chat box, and we'll go through as many questions as possible during tonight's call. If you're new to Aurora, Aurora Luna specializes in soul evolutionary activations, star journey meditations, crystal healing and vibrational resonance, and field cohesion realignment. As a member of the Elohim Council, Aurora brings forth the immortal Christed light codes, offering assistance to those who feel guided to step into their highest potential in the now moment. Her greatest joy is empowering each person to realize their unlimited nature and see themselves for the master beings that they already are. Aurora, welcome to tonight's call.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. And it's true, our beginnings were pretty amazing. I remember you first friend requesting me on Facebook, and I was like, no way. Is it really John, or is it like an imposter? Yeah. And then I remember also you came to me at a pivotal time when a lot of shift was coming into my life, and it was hard. It was challenging. I rode to you on a bicycle because I just had my car repossessed.
Wow.
Right. So I was not feeling like I am the master of my universe. I was feeling like a peon. And the energies that came through on your behalf were so amazing. And our connection was really like that soul family recognition. It really was very powerful. So I'm grateful to be with you, and grateful for that unfolding.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's interesting as you talk about that. Sometimes we have to go back down to the bare bones for the next evolution that's coming through, because the old formatting just can't live in what's coming through. And we think that we're losing, that we're collapsing, that everything's being taken away. And it is. But so much is ready to be given simultaneously as we surrender into that. So, and I have a feeling that what you expressed in that experience during that time, which was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 years. It was about 4 years ago, actually. Yeah, 4 years ago, around May or September or something like that. It's crazy. But what you experienced then, it's again part of that Phoenix rising and the different phases of how that happens in our life. So I can't wait to get into this conversation deeper with you. y'all, Aurora's package is extraordinary. You're all going to want to check it out because there's some very individualized, personalized components on there. April's putting the link in the chat box now in case you want to start browsing through it. We're going to go through it, so don't worry about it. But if you want a session with Aurora, if you want to find out more about that personalization, the link's in the chat box and get in line. So order yours now if you know that you want to do it. But I offer that in advance here now. Before we get into the Phoenix Rising and into that energy, I like it if you'd give us some context of soul evolutionary activations, star journey meditations, and also cohesion alignment. Again, in essence, your work of the Elohim Council and the energies that you bring through, so that anybody that's new to you has a little more context in how you'd be working with them.
Yeah, it's almost expanded even from the Elohim to what they're giving me as the elders of the cosmos. It's an awareness that we have access to really everyone. A lot of people who come on the show, I recognize they may channel a specific energetic frequency. And so for me to get my feet wet, I feel like they gave me something specific, an angelic frequency of co-creation. The Elohim, as I have an awareness of them, is that they are kind of like the way the earth was created. If source is the father, then the Elohim were kind of like the energetic, like we have parents, right? But we're a soul that comes from source. So the Elohim were kind of like the parents that brought in the energy of Gaia into creation through the energetic of source. And so getting comfortable with that was kind of a thing. But it was just an awareness that we're all these very expansive beings, right? And it was also an awareness that there's no need to connect to only one frequency. There's several people who have channeled like our oversouls. If we're connected to ascended beings, whether they be angelics or star beings or masters, ascended masters, there's only so many of them, but there's lots and lots of us because we have all had collective experiences with these different beings in many different dimensional experiences. So I am a portal or a channel for those experiences to come through, whatever's for the highest for each person. And it's my intention always for the highest. So you only receive what you desire and or what you're ready for. Sometimes we don't think we're ready for it. Just like you said, we get a reset button, right? I wasn't living in integrity. I wasn't making a car payment because I couldn't, but nonetheless, you can't sustain something that isn't in alignment, whatever that may be. So I hold that container for change, for what people are ready for in this now moment.
That's wonderful. And you activate the potentiality in it with a lot of grace as well. So as we get into, again, the change, the potentiality and what we're ready to anchor in, tell us about your concept of the rising phoenix. How are you witnessing it now or sensing it in the time that we're in?
Oh, I mean, to me, it's kind of obvious, right? Everything changed last year. It was a reset point for a lot of people, and in different places, right? So a phoenix to me is something that's constantly going through a process of growth. My tagline is alchemy, alignment, ascension, because we're constantly going through a change to then align, to then come to the next part of our ascension process. And through those three words, they showed me the phoenix. They showed me how each phoenix can come to align with each one of us, how the phoenix has this beautiful vibration of support throughout each stage of alchemy, alignment, and ascension, and how they'll grab in pieces of things we're already familiar with. So, for instance, is that Lemurian energy. I saw your phoenix. It was this turquoise blue energy, and I was like, well, of course. And of course, there was Pleiadian frequency to it too. And then of course, it shot out into this multidimensional, really cool looking being. But it showed me the how we build with it, how we can work with the energy of a phoenix, how it can give us a name, how that name can change, how we're constantly going through that growth. Right? It's almost like you have a team of light, and that team of light that you work with can be a cluster of energy, and then we can shift to another cluster depending where we are in our growth process. And when we learn how the energy of alchemy works, that's basically what the Phoenix is showing us. That so from last year into this year, we've had a definite reset point. A lot of people are not going to go back to the office to go to work. A lot of people are making different choices about what they want for themselves and what their purpose looks like, and aligning to that purpose. That to me is, I mean, that's where the magic is. We were born for this time of change because
Right.
we're awakened to it.
Yeah, and I love the way you're describing the Phoenix rising and the process of transformation, because for me, it doesn't become a linear straight shut up, which makes a lot more sense and brings attunement into our body's uneasiness for the changes and the flows and the ebbs and the tides that we go through, because it's a wave energy, and there's ups and there's down, and getting to know itself and maybe going a little bit backwards and then springing forward. And so it's really it can be a very graceful dance. But when our mind and bodies hold that it has to be in this trajectory of consistently rising without the rest of the dance, it creates blockages, I believe.
Yes, 110%.
Yeah. How
That's
do
a
you
great.
see that? And how do we get past the linear concept, even in spiritual thinking, to be in that flow of the Phoenix rising energy?
Well, overcoming the thinking is really where we connect in with the body, and use the body as the barometer. We are here to be in this physical vessel. So again, when we connect with the Phoenix in a certain way, we're bringing in an energetic into our field, and we can ground that energy more deeper. We're working with the energy of fire and air and water and earth, all of it within the Phoenix and all of it within us, right? Our soul is connected to fire, the physical body connected to earth, our emotion connected to water, and then our mind energy connected to the ether, to air. And it's both fire and spirit, I find to be, they intertwine a lot with one another. And if we're too much air, if we're too much in the thought without the balance of the earth, the water, then we have that blockage that happens. We have an expectation and we get married to that expectation, and we just block ourselves spiritually or otherwise in any kind of energetic, whether it just be in the normal 3D world of what you're waiting on or hoping for. We forget often that we are creator source beings. We forget that our thoughts become things and our words are spelling, and that we are energy constantly in this motion towards a trajectory of whatever it is that we desire. The minute that we put that expectation on, or the minute that we forget that we can be in a wave and we can actually have fun with the wave, right? A reset isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it almost never is. It just feels that way. Like you said, sometimes things have to get taken away so that we can get even more of something. But the inner child says, "Oh no, I'm losing my blanket, my comfort, my space that I've become, that I've built for myself." But generally, when something is being removed, it's also because it's comfortably uncomfortable.
Mhm.
We're actually expanding beyond it. The Phoenix is going to show us exactly where those places are. If we're willing to look at them, if we're willing to work with it, we can really, really go through it. And what's crazy is that last night was the first night I actually had a dream, a physical dream of a phoenix.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. What did the Phoenix tell you in the dream? Let's interpret this.
she didn't. She sat very quietly next to me. She was whole. She was two colors. She was a very opalescent color on top, and at the shoulders, she almost looked angelic. And at the shoulders, she became like a charcoal color, almost as if something was being birthed, like something was getting ready to shift and change. And I
Wow.
asked if I could pet her, and she allowed me to touch her heart chakra area.
Mm.
And she was just very silent. She was just there to show me her presence, because yeah, it was really incredible. Yeah, I feel the message was just that peace, like sitting next to her was a complete energetic of harmony. It was a
Mhm.
complete energetic of relaxation, of peace, of knowing that everything is in divine order.
Wow, it's so beautiful. So as you connected to your inner Phoenix, what do you suggest, or what can we do to connect to our rising phoenix?
Well, that's going to be part of the process that we do this evening. And that's part of what I'm offering in the package. The package is even going to go deeper because it's going to be sound codes and a description of a particular phoenix that's going to be working with a specific, either if someone makes a request of what it is that they want to work with. Like, in other words, if it's abundance or if it's, self-love or whatever the topics may be, we can tweak it to be something specific, or I can actually receive what would be for that person's highest in this now moment. And the Phoenix, what's really beautiful about them in general is they'll come through again in different colors with different kinds of messages or recommendations. And we're going to welcome that frequency in our meditation. We're going to each connect with our own. Though they said maybe. What I'm getting is that we might actually connect with a specific Phoenix, like a Phoenix for our family that is now and that will be listening to this whenever they listen.
Okay.
So,
Oh, wonderful. Oh,
yeah.
so good. Oh, I want to ask you some questions about my phoenix, but I won't. I'll save it for the group.
Okay. I'm like, but you can.
And so what's my phoenix looks like? Is it like, it's like, what do you notice? Like, what do you pick up in the energy of that for me?
You're on what feels like a very big expansion. So it feels like your Phoenix has, um, matured is the wrong word, but is coming full bloom into something that's about
Mm,
to grow into something even bigger. Because when I see your Phoenix, what I see around it is the tree of life.
wow.
It's gold. It's a very beautiful golden Christed energy of the tree of life. So it feels like something is about to bring fruit to that tree.
Mm,
But I still, when I see your Phoenix, I do feel it as a masculine energy, though balanced in that energy. And I do feel like the stone energy of Larimar keeps coming through. It really is this turquoisey blue color. When I first, again, at this energetic and this dimensional kind of arena, because when we move past it, like it's not just Pleiades and Lyra that I pick up, but like it just like the whole omniverse opens up. So it's very interesting how expansive the energy, because it's just another portal. Basically, they're just giving me another symbol of something that we can connect with so that we can comprehend it without fear, because most of us have an adoration for the energy of the phoenix and feel very aligned with it, right? Like we would with a dragon or with a unicorn. It's something we feel safe with, and we have an awareness that a phoenix automatically means change,
mm.
right? We know it. We know it's going to go through a phase of growth into rest, into sleep, so that we can recreate and co-create all over again.
Right.
And it's not scary. It's just change. It's just change, in, like you said, in a graceful way.
Right. Well, what you just picked up on me is actually really fascinating because about an hour and a half ago, I was explaining someone my visions of the tree of life. And I haven't spoken about the tree of life in months, at least, maybe a year, where it's even come up in conversation. I'm getting the chills now. The whole download of the tree of life, of the axis mundi, of the heaven and earth. But again, the tree of life is a symbol that showed up at the beginning of my reawakening as something that was connecting me to that source. So you speaking about that again, just right after I had that conversation is just so spot on. There's no
Wow.
mistakes. Yeah, it's so wonderful. Y'all, you should raise your hand and take advantage, and we'll get into a little bit of Q&A later, and we'll get into this transmission as well. But this is phenomenal. I love the way you're just so accurate and the way that you see in this. As we go through these changes in time, and again, navigating with our Phoenix and coming in, what is it that we can do in our awareness now, and perhaps with the energies of the rising Phoenix and any other energies that we have to support us, to find the anchor even in the midst of going down into the flames and starting to rise back up?
My awareness is that it's kind of like we're building on an energy. So the more that we start calling on this energy, the more we're going to feel connected to our source self, the more that we feel connected, because this is just another aspect of us, right? It's something outside of us, but it's really not. It's a
Mhm.
symbol of an energetic frequency that's made of us and the all that is. So when we tap into that frequency and we continually say, okay, like let's say my phoenix has a name and it's Dashna, and I call upon her because I'm feeling like I'm spinning. I'm either in grief or I'm scared or I'm angry and it's okay that I'm having any of those feelings, but I'm looking for that energy of assistance just to stay grounded, right? Because sometimes our intense feelings can spin us out of an energy and take us far out of our bodies and out of our connection with our source. Calling in that energy, as soon as I call her in, I feel her presence. As soon as I feel her presence, I recognize that I'm not processing by myself. And it's kind of like building on an energy on a constant basis, right? It's the same as if we meditate every day or if we dance every day or drum every day. This is a tool that can be used in any moment to simply call in and ask it to be present. Part of calling it in and asking it to be present is knowing that it's present, right? Like if you're calling it in, that's your intention, right? We talked about that in our last conversation. 9/10 is setting the intention of spiritual law, but that masculine energy, that 1/10 of actually making it so, is the action. So
Yeah.
it's calling it in and saying, I need help right now. Please be with me. Please show me what I need to see, or please just in this now moment, stop the energy from spinning. Ground me in this now moment. And I can honestly say, like, I'm about to teach actually a class on the equinox around more depth of this, but it's worked. Like, I can only share this information because I've experienced it.
Mm.
I'm like everyone else, right? I'm just as human as everyone else. My dad crossed over 2 months ago. Life takes on an energy of having to navigate the unknowns or the knowns, right? I knew my dad was going to cross. Doesn't make it any easier. So it's an aware, right? And it was his time and blessed and everything. So it's just an awareness that when we start to consistently, I think that's the key, consistently call upon an energetic frequency that we know we're made of it, right? It's not really outside of us. We're part of it.
Mhm.
The wisdom of our soul is tied into this beautiful creature. I mean, unbelievable,
Mhm.
right? We have an opportunity to really just in that moment ground, right? Because we're going to be in these changing times for time to come. Last year was the start of something that we're in a cycle of, and it's still going to be big change as we continue, and they're variant, right? It may not look the same as it did last year, and I think we're all okay if it doesn't look exactly the same. But at the same time, we're in awareness that we need to continue to mulch, right? There's still a lot of, let's say, unrest with last year into this year because things are not back to normal and they may not go back to how they looked before. So there's grief around that. There's fear around that. There's just exhaustion around that. And this energy of the phoenix, when you work with it like if you make a commitment to work with your phoenix, you will see your vibration not just shift, you'll see your intuition connect more deeply. You'll see your calmer in circumstances that would normally take you out of your body. You'll see that you're able to manifest certain aspects of life in a very quick way. You'll have an awareness that, like, I don't know about you, but intuition has become something that's so turned on, but you really do have to be grounded to receive it.
Mhm. Right. And that's actually an important concept is how do you suggest that people ground what they can receive, what they can actually control around their thoughts and emotions? Because as we ground that in, it grounds in our access to being more open to receiving the guidance which also what I want to allude to as well is that what you talked about, calling it in and asking for it and being consistent with it, that also re-entrains our brain and it gives us access. So it becomes less of a chaotic thing, even in the asking. It normalizes the presence and our brain doesn't get into the chaos. Is it going to show up? Is it not going to show up? Am I crazy? Like all these other things of not being able to receive. And you settle into it. It doesn't become, again, it doesn't stay in the chaos of the scrambled brain trying to access something that is in slight awareness, but not in ownership.
Oh, that's such a good way to put it. And that's so true because it is esoteric, right? It's not something you're going to reach out and touch tomorrow. Maybe something you'll reach out and touch at some point. But in this now, right, I touched mine last night in a dream state, and it was so vivid that I even remember how she felt. She was so soft, it was like cotton. But it's an awareness that you may not see your phoenix right away. You may not feel your phoenix right away, or it's something that could instantaneously come to you. To me, most of what I work with is sentience, my sentient body, my energy field. I feel so much. I know a lot, or I know a lot. Sounds funny. I get a lot of knowings. That's what I meant to say. But really, I feel vibrational energy. And with that, well, again, as soon as I call her in, or even when I just saw your tree of life, that's a knowing, right? And it was very like I feel the energy of it immediately. And I feel like because most of us are aware that we're empathic, if we desire to feel the frequency and vibration and energy of them, we will.
Mm-hmm. I think that's wonderful. Now, you talk also about the use of ancient light mantras
Yeah.
to help us in this access of consciousness. Tell us about it and what are they and how can we implement them?
So I've been given two that I'm going to share on the show.
Okay.
One is specifically around abundance, and one is specifically around grounding. And the purpose of the mantra is to, again, set forth an intention, right? When we set forth the intention, we are putting out into the universe an energy of gratitude for what we're already receiving.
Mm-hmm.
It is my awareness that there's a lot of different ways to manifest all kinds of fun stuff. Most of us are not in the place where we can just surrender and everything that we need will manifest and come to us. Most of us are in an energetic where we need to participate with the universe, with source, with the all that is, and say, you know what, this is what I desire, right? But as Wendy Kennedy talked about, when you throw out that boomerang, if you do it and you don't maintain your vibration, by the time the boomerang comes back, boom, boom, boom. You're on the third floor, that thing's on the top roof waiting for you, and it just went by because you weren't there anymore. Mm-hmm. So something that these mantras can do, when you set forth the intention of gratitude and joy, right? And you use these mantras, they will also be bringing in that frequency into your body. And the powerful energy around that is that we can, again, bring about the creation of the world around us. 90% of what we think today, we're going to think tomorrow. We are mostly water, right? And Dr. Emoto showed us what happens when we say and think certain energies, what happens to our physical vessel around our health, right? So these are just scientific facts. These words that I received, or this light language, if you will, or fire language that I received, is around the energy of shifting patterns in the brain. So that the minute you're like, I desire this, but it's never going to happen, you can do one of two things. You can shift into the frequency of joy and, I am and I can, or you can just shift into, I need to connect like back into my body right now and just feel grounded, right? So feeling grounded, that mantra is good for when we're feeling anger, right? Anger, I feel like is a great catalyst when it's not directed at someone. Because if we're feeling anger, then we're recognizing that something's just powerfully out of alignment, which can help us then shift what needs to be shifted, right? I don't desire to be treated this way anymore. Well, then I have to change what's acceptable for me, within me, to me, right? And maybe this relationship isn't serving me anymore, or whatever it is, right? Abundance is a bigger one because that generally goes back to self-worth. And the self-worth can take us down a spiral really deep, really fast, and take us out of our joy. Because when we're not receiving abundance, we feel like we're not worthy, which is why we're not receiving it. So it's kind of this perpetual silly thing that goes on over and over and over again. So yeah, that's definitely going to be part of our process when we do our meditation as well. And thank you for asking.
Yeah, we'll get into that process a little bit later, y'all. I think I'm going to save it after the Q&A, and when we'll drop in towards the end of the call. So y'all are going to want to hang out for that. And of course, we're going to get into Q&A, which is wonderful. There's so much, and there's so much that can come in, but we're going through the process. I want to get into your special offer because it's so special, and I want to start taking live calls as well. So let's just go to the special offer now, because it's so exciting. And so actually going into it now, y'all can experience afterwards you're going to go deeper into with Aurora during these personalized activations. They're in the group calls, or depending which package you participate in. So this is perfect. I'm going to start listing some of y'all as participants, and I'll call on you when I'm ready for you to unmute. I'd love if you turn on your video if you have your hand raised, and I'm adding you as a participant, because we love seeing you. And if you can't get a video, just type your question into the chat box, and we'll try to go through those as well. And while I'm doing that, y'all go to the special offer page. April's typed it into the chat box. I believe you can go in the chat box and click on the link. Yes, there at the bottom and at the very top also. So you can find it in both places. And you can also type into your web browser if for any reason you can't find it, beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Aurora24. And it'll take you to that same page. And Aurora, guide us through what everybody's going to go deeper into with you as they participate with us.
You got it. So package A is pre-recorded meditations. And what I got was that as we really want to embrace our Phoenix, and as we really want to embrace the codes that are going to come with all of that, we need to kind of get into that field cohesion, right? So that's when we talk about field cohesion, I'm talking about having your physical vessel, your emotional vessel, your mental vessel, and your etheric vessel. And there's even more energy than that, but we'll start with those to keep it easy. We want all of that to be in alignment, right? So it's great to do these activations and it's great to do these meditations, but they won't stick unless we really get into practice. And so I've put together a Christ DNA activation, a Christ heart activation, a crystalline DNA activation, which is one of my favorites, diamond platinum plasma activation, and then a pyramid activation, which is amazeballs, because the pyramid activation actually gives you 13 chambers. So even though you're going to choose one chamber, you can go back in and choose another chamber anytime. And so really, even though it's one meditation, it's 13 meditations. And all of these can offer you a preparation, and honestly, unto themselves is really a powerful activating force, because my desire is for everyone to really get to know this aspect of their Phoenix. It's showing up for a reason right now. I've been given a healing modality around it. So there's something so potent to this for the new age of Aquarius. It's not just another, oh, rising Phoenix, whatever. No, it's a healing alchemy. It's an actual essence of energy that is showing up on our behalf. And we're going to be getting attuned to it. So in package B, what's coming through on everyone's behalf is going to be this very specific coding that's just for each person. They're going to, again, each person can make a request if you desire to do so, meaning you can say, you know what, Aurora, I really want to work on my purpose. And I can then hone in on that on your behalf. Or you can get a Phoenix that you're going to leave in my hands to channel on your behalf without any specification, which is also fine. I have no attachment to your process. So whatever is for your highest is all that I desire. And from there, I'll be making a recording that you'll receive as an MP3 sent to your email address. And then you get to have in package C a one-on-one with me where we can dive even deeper.
Actually, we did two packages, Aurora. We did a package A and B. So package A actually includes the Phoenix Code Sound activation.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'll be fine. All's well.
Yeah. So we combined it, y'all. We upgraded.
I've been integrated. I am fully integrated.
Yeah. So package A includes the Christ DNA activation, the Christ heart activation. I love these, by the way. These are so, these speak to me so deeply. The crystalline DNA activation, the diamond platinum plasma activation. That plasmic energy has been coming up so strongly for me lately, also, as we're just in another phase of it maturing as the structures collapse even more. So it's amazing. And then the pyramid activation. I had this amazing light meditation, what was it, about 3-4 days ago. The pyramid coming in and spinning and isolating and all these different sacred symbols going through it. But that activation was so powerful. I think we're connected, Aurora. I don't know. I've been seeing this perhaps. I don't know what's happening, but this is so powerful and a big shift. And again, the last item on this is the personalized Phoenix sound activation. Y'all read about this to find out what you're going to get it personalized, to get your own message, to get the sound code. All this, y'all, is $127. And Aurora dropped her price without knowing she dropped her price, but I thought she did. We thought we asked permission. Anyway.
No, it's all perfect.
All there. So that's that. And then package B, they get that. And what does a one-on-one entail with you? I haven't had a one-on-one with you in a while. I think that needs to happen.
Well, we can do that anytime. Right. I'll send you my scheduler. Or you probably have. April has it. So yeah, and the one-on-one, again, we can go deeper. So we can do a meditation around getting to the next level. But I also like to kind of keep it open, because I want each person to get out of the one-on-one whatever it is that they want. I try to steer away from readings, y'all, because you have to know that by now my work is about empowerment, right? So I don't mind guiding at all, but I really desire for each person to embody. If I give you a reading, then I could see something that's now, and tomorrow you can change your mind, and then your whole timeline shifts, right? So I don't really desire to give you any information that's going to have you make a decision because I said so. That's disempowerment, right? Each one of you is a powerful co-creatrix. Each one of you. You may not remember it in this now moment, and you may not even feel it in this now moment, but that's okay. I can help you with that part. That's the part I'm here to do. That's the part where I can help you see the glorious energy that you already are. But we can also go deeper into the Phoenix. We can go deeper into if there's something that's specific that you're, again, looking to work on and work through, we can do that. One of my favorite things to do is really offer sound, because oftentimes either language or codes through sound. I have my bowl with me. We'll see if he comes out to play. I'm not sure yet. That's like our body is vibrating, and when we're in dis-ease, there's a sound vibration that's out of alignment with our bodies, right? That's what it is. It's sound. That's why sound is such a powerful healer. There are stories of Tibetan monks going into cancer patient rooms and toning and walking out, and within 3 days or 2 days or whatever it is, miraculous healing takes place, because that's how powerful sound frequency is. Oftentimes we don't know the frequency that we need in order to bring in that healing. Oftentimes I receive those energetic awarenesses on behalf of each person.
Amazing. The sessions were amazing. And I can't believe it's been a while since we had it, but everything in divine timing and this connection to the tree of life, the Phoenix. I've been seeing a lot of dragon Phoenix energy a lot lately as well. And the Christed consciousness. Christed consciousness and the plasma energy, the Christed light, and the alchemy that's happening through the integration, dissolving, and rebuilding from there. It's just, it's the alchemy that's healing. Rising Phoenix Alchemy Healing with Aurora Luna Star. Y'all take advantage of this. $127 for package A, $197 if you want to include the one-on-one 30-minute session as well. And you'll notice on our sales page, on the special offer page, that it's valued and it's blank. So it's valued at infinity. It's valued at, what do you want to receive? What's the energy exchange you're choosing to receive? And that's what's so beautiful of working Aurora. There's a generosity and expansion that it doesn't become about an even reciprocation in a moment. Because Aurora, you're like I am, we understand that the reciprocation can show up in so many different ways, but it's not that we expect it either, but it shows up that way. It just does. So the exchange to get you in and to get that flow going and to expand upon, it's just so beautiful. So again, package A includes the personalized code and the sound frequency package, and of course all those activations. Package B again includes all that plus the one-on-one reading. You'll take advantage of it. The links in the chat box, or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Aurora 24, take you to the same page. And Aurora, if you're ready, I would like to go into taking live calls.
Bring it.
Let's do it. We're going to start here. Let's see. First caller we're going to take. Let's go to Annie. Welcome. Let's get you to unmute, please.
Hi. When you talked about petting the phoenix on the over the heart, I got to do that with a penguin out in the wild.
Oh.
A pelican, I mean. And so I could totally feel it when you were saying that. Anyway, yes to everything unfolding very quickly now. So, and I'm trying to be totally aware of everything and move into decision making here.
Love, as you're shifting around, we can't hear you. It's muting you.
Sorry.
Let me ask you, what's your question?
How can I connect with my phoenix, and what does it look like to help me with decision making?
Okay. So on a starting point, your phoenix is actually a beautiful emerald green. And it's connected to Archangel Raphael. It feels very much like you are a star sister and that you do your own healing work. It's feels very interestingly earth connected, which is also the emerald green. It's like Gaia has come through on your behalf. And in terms of getting connected, that's kind of what we're going to do together. Basically, I'm going to walk everyone through this process, and you're going to be able to use this process anytime. So once we're here, you'll be able to listen to it. You'll be able to, I can't even speak English right now. There's so much energy coming through. You'll be able to listen to the replay and you'll have it again, right? And if you do package A, we'll also do a process where you'll be connecting like in a very specific way with the phoenix. But basically what's in awareness is that when you set the intention that you desire your phoenix to connect with you, and now you have this visual aid of seeing something that's emerald green, again, just to start, that's the starting point. And again, I feel Archangel Raphael and a presence of Gaia and her emerald kingdoms. That's your visualization. You can start there. And what's also really beautiful again about this process is that it's ever living and ever growing. So while we may start with emerald, it may shift, and then we may see more, and we may see different colors. And you'll start to see that within your own knowing on your own.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, listen as we listen to, we get into the process here in a little bit and go deeper into it. One thing I'd suggest to you also is that, instead of start re-imprinting the brain and the neurochemistry as well. And I don't have clarity. Maybe it's I don't have clarity yet, or the clarity is coming, or I don't have clarity. How can I step into gaining more clarity? If we just leave it hanging and I don't have clarity, we reinforce that and our brain starts to believe that. And we actually start degenerating an energy that was actually perhaps building up in us. And sometimes it's necessary because it's taking us into the downflow so we can get back into the upflow. But I don't feel that for you. And it feels like it's just, you're at this time where it's time to start going in, like the phoenix that's burning. You're coming up from the ashes. So as you're coming up, it's time to change the way and consciously change some of the vernacular to support that taking flight. It's just time. So be consciously aware and support the Phoenix energy by you supporting it, not expecting the Phoenix energy to do it for you, by you being a participant in the process.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right, let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Oksana. Let's go to you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, John. Hi, Aurora Luna.
Hi.
I have worked with Aurora Luna before. Today, I have been nudged to be on this call 3 times, so I knew for some reason. Now I understand why. Thank you. Thank you for the topic. I am on a Pegasus wavelength today. They're everywhere. And so I am here to ask, what does Pegasus have to do with Phoenix energy?
Well, they have a lot of similarity. I mean, so the Pegasus is, a being that's taking flight. So I would say that if you're experiencing Pegasus energy right now, that there's something that's waiting for you to make the decision to start moving in an energy of going forward. If you've been waiting to make a decision, it's time to make the decision.
May I add just a little bit?
Sure.
Thank you for sharing your dream. The way Pegasus came in my view is it was a cream colored with golden wings Pegasus I had a dream about. And today, even at a gas station, I saw Pegasus on the screens everywhere. At the same time, when there was police passing through, traffic everywhere, I saw people. There was police. There were people with guns waiting at the store, and I was just saying a prayer as I was passing through all of it seamlessly, and just asking for peace. And so I'm in Miami. I just moved in 2020. I moved 3 times, and so my question is, so waiting for what to do. Every time I ask, it's be peace wherever you are. And so how else can I be that?
How else can you be peace?
Yes.
Oh, you already are. That's what you're doing is absolutely perfect, right? Whenever I hear like a siren go by, my prayer is always that I'm sending love to those who are in need of assistance and those who are assisting, right? That's just something that we're constantly in conscious awareness of. So, I've been in courtrooms where terrible things were happening in family court, and I was just anchoring light in that space. It was very funny. One of the times that I was in court, I was the very last person to be heard before the judge, and I knew. I was rolling my eyes. The judge even went on a 2-hour lunch break. I was there to simply anchor the light. I mean, I was there for my purpose to do what I was there to do, but I was stuck. And that's initially I was like, oh man, are you kidding me? And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. I'm here for a reason. It happened when I went through border force between Paris and England. I had to stay there for 2.5 hours. And while I was standing there, I was holding a love frequency, right? The vibration of just knowing that I'm never going to see these people again, and I can just throw them all a love bomb. So that's exactly, if you're moving around, part of that is that you're anchoring beautiful light every place that you're going. But that's soon. Sorry, go ahead.
So the greatest power I feel in grounding everything, and my focus is alignment and has been. So I tuned in and raised my hand when you said the word consistency, because I can align. It's just about maintaining it constantly and consistently. That is my focus right now, is by the waves. When I go to the ocean, no matter how heavy traffic is, no matter how many things were encountered, I am re-educating traffic. People don't use their turn lights here, and I go, please use the turn lights. So every time somebody does, I go, blessings, blessings, thank you. And they do use them, even same cars. And so it's the water that's helping me. So I am air, I'm Aquarius, all of those things. You mentioned fire. I am asking for the tools that we all can be using right now to be even more grounded, I guess, as I say that at my solar plexus.
We're gonna get more into a process of that in the call with Aurora also. So come back and listen to that as well. And Aurora, I'm going to answer this quickly also. I want to go into the next call extended, but the message I got from you from the Pegasus, and for me, it's very grounding, masculine in the Pegasus as well. So there's a masculine putting it in, but to be at peace, or to, what was the message that you received again? Will you tell me exactly what it was? About
just
peace?
Be peace wherever I am.
Thank
Just
you.
be me.
And that's it right there. Be peace, being peace. And you're searching for it outside of yourself, but you're being it. And so your distraction and your grounded is because you're looking for it outside of somewhere, not thinking that you're being it, not thinking that you're doing right, not thinking that you can be consistent with it. And so your message is also your message to you. The messages that we receive for other people, let's listen. It's like, what part of this message is for me? Because the more that we settle into that light that's coming through always for us, and we go beyond a sense of having to carry safety around it into the knowing. When we know, we don't need safety. We know. And that's when you settle into the consistency. And so the message that you're receiving, it's always for you first. Even if you think it's for someone else, it's always for you first. And when you start owning that and receiving it with that humility and that gratitude and the blessings that you give, you know yourself as that. And then you're not searching.
With completeness.
You're not searching, and you're just being it. And people automatically pick up on the transmission of your peace.
Thank you.
That's just who you're being. So thank you for what you're doing, and beautiful recognition. And Aurora, thank you for this. So amazing. All right, let's go to another caller. Let's go. De'Ara, where are you? Where'd you go?
She's here.
Here I am.
Hi.
Hi. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Hello, Aurora, Luna and John. Yeah, I was really called to be here tonight as well. And it's a very deceivingly gentle energy. And as I was trying to feel my phoenix earlier, the dragons kept showing up. And I was interested in their relationship together. And then as you were talking about sound frequency, they have a signature that blends together.
Yes.
Like I never, can you speak to that for us?
Well, sure. It's just like all of us, right? Everything is frequency. And so the dragons, the unicorns, the phoenix, all of these, what we would consider to be like mystical or mythical creatures, the Pegasus, they are all part of an energetic frequency that used to be connected to Gaia in the reality of the beings that lived here, right? I mean, Wales is represented by a dragon. Scotland is represented by a unicorn. You can see statues of these beings all over the place because they were part of a higher vibrational frequency when Gaia was in that before whatever it is that happened, because there's so many different stories. So whatever that may be that happened that took us out of that frequency, right? So they're all family as far as and right. And dragons, just like the phoenix, are connected to all of the elements, right? So it's like soul family with different purpose. So a lot of what a dragon is going to do is going to be like you can send dragons all over the place. Whereas I feel really that the Phoenix is working with an individual or with a cluster of beings. If I want to send a being that's very strong to clear energy in the earth from generations of nonsense, whatever that may be, I'm going to send like a big, bad, awesome, not bad, but awesome dragon deep into the earth and ask a family of them to be there because that's really what they do. That's part of why they're here, right? So like every uh, mystical or mythical energetic will have a different purpose, a different job, a different role. That's how I experience them.
Yes, thank you. I can see that. And I almost see that the dragons with their tougher scales doing the excavation, and then the Phoenix like takes it and delivers it. It's a beautiful cycle, and just they're kind of excited to be spoken about together in this way.
Awesome.
And I guess the concept of the Phoenix, I love the opalescence color. And before I sign off, I'm gonna ask, are there any messages for me from my Phoenix that feels like a new being to me?
Well, it's going to be for you to get to know your Phoenix, right? So it's time that anyone who's here right now and who's going to be here, right? Because whatever soul family is called to be present with John and I today, and all of us, right? We're all interconnected. The Phoenix is not the only thing calling us together right now, but it is the focus. People saw the energy and the word Phoenix and said, dude, I need to show up for this call physically right now. I need to be here. And so there is an awareness that it's time. This is a frequency that I'm being asked to bring in a container for our new age, right? And it's not about me. I'm the container. I'm just the antenna that's saying, okay, I'll be the receptor to bring in this beautiful frequency for and on behalf of everyone, right? And you all said, hey, I really need to connect with this frequency because I know there's something that's about to be activated. And again, why package A has these meditations that come in is because we are absolutely going from carbon base to crystalline base. That is what is happening to our physical vessel. That process is slow and requires us to participate, just as John was saying. We need to participate in our healing process, in our ascension process. It's not going to just happen for us, right? Life is not happening to us or for us, it's happening because of us. So we need to be active participants, and the Phoenix frequency is offering itself to us to be part of that activation, part of our shift, part of changing our lives.
Beautiful. Deborah, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
And I love that you're taking us into being in relationship with the Phoenix rather than a quick reading. So y'all, would you rather have this powerful ally send you a text message, or would you rather be in relationship with it? Right? And that's what's happening here. You can get the quick text message and then it's gone and it's kind of out of your field and out of your awareness. But as you awaken it and have relationship and roll with the energy of it, it grows within you, and that communication is here to lift you to the places that it's rising to as well. So we're an empowered journey that's possible through this amazing opportunity that Aurora's presenting here today. Or let me get into another call here. I am guided to call on Com Ali. I'm not sure what your proper name is, but please let us know when you come live. And if you can unmute yourself.
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Great. What is your name?
Kathy Ann.
Kathy Ann, welcome. What is your question for Aurora?
So I know Aurora from way back in the day. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I am so new to this. I'm just like curious, what kind of a connection do I have with the Phoenix?
Well, right now it's an introduction experience for you, right? So I can see, like, what I see on a soul level is you seeing the phoenix, and the phoenix gives you a bow, and you give the phoenix a bow, and you're like, okay, but what are you really? So I see an energetic frequency show up on your behalf. I see with this frequency a very powerful energetic of divine feminine. So Kuan Yin and Mother Mary are both present with her. And she will, if you decide to, she would love to work with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's just it's an awareness that it's an introduction, and then you get to decide, right? None of this energy is outside of you truly, and none of it is without your, I don't want to say command, but I'd rather say it's an integration. It's an awareness that you call upon it and it will show up on your behalf, and it doesn't do anything outside of your desire. It's not here to, this is not the Tower card in Tarot where you receive this card and now everything in your life is going to collapse and automatically you're going to have to rise from the ashes. It doesn't work that way, because each one of us is in a different aspect of our growth. So any energy that's showing up on our behalf is lovingly present to assist us with whatever blind spots or whatever growth we're ready for, right? Sometimes we desire to make a decision, but our feet feel like they're stuck in the mud. And so sometimes when we call in these frequencies, we can set into motion the people, places, and circumstances that are going to help us shift out of that mud, right? Because we all feel resistance. I feel resistance all the time. Do you know how long it took me to let go of coffee? I can't even tell you guys. It was in the last 2 months that I feel I've let go of coffee. I don't want to say for good, because I hate to speak in absolute terms, but I don't feel like I need it anymore. I've replaced it with matcha, and matcha has changed my whole morning routine because I wake up in a good mood, I drink matcha, and I'm in a good mood. And it's so weird, but it's a pretty high vibe plant. And that just showed me the difference of vibration between, the coffee beans and the green leaves of the tea. So we're all going to experience different things in our lives, whatever they are. And this energetic frequency is here to, it's funny, I feel like Kuan Yin and Mother Mary showed up because those are representations that are more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the Phoenix kind of said, let's all come in together so that Kathy Ann feels comfortable.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you much. Looking forward to Sandy and the rest coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
Wonderful. All right, let's go to a question that came in the chat. Keisha writes, what does my Phoenix have to say to me? Is there different significance for each type of Phoenix? What guidance does my Phoenix have for me to level up?
Okay. So yes, different Phoenix energetics will come to you at different points and times in your growth. So I feel like right now she's got a beautiful energetic. It's like a tangerine orange. It's bright orange. It's feels like it has a connection both to the sacral chakra for creativity, but also for healing. And it also feels like it's got a very powerful star presence to Lyra, and elemental energy to it. And the question is, what are you? So rather than asking you or asking me what message the Phoenix has for you, I'm going to ask you, what does that energetic mean to you when I share it? Right? So if I'm telling you sacral energy, creativity, and like womb healing and energetic healing around this very bright color, and also sharing like that there's earth energy around, but it's also star. So that's the thing with the Lyran energy. But it's elementals. So it's like the fairies, the gnomes, the fun stuff, all hanging out around. So what does that mean to you? That's my question.
Fantastic. Good answer. I love these empowering responses.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, you did well. Yeah, we're going to get into a little more Q&A and get into the process here. But as we do so, I want to remind you of this special offer. It's in the chat box. Again, the activations, amazing. The crystalline light, the plasma light. It's epic. And then you get to add the personalized code and the sound frequency added to that for $127, 2 payment option on that as well, or the gift. And if you want to add a 30-minute private session with Aurora as well, you'll get everything plus the private session for $197, 2 payment option on that also. So I hope you all take advantage of that. The link's in the chat box. And if you want to schedule your session sooner than later, I'd suggest that you go ahead and book it now so that you don't have to be put a little bit further behind on the calendar. But Aurora's very accommodating though. So I know that you'll get in right when you're supposed to. There's no doubt. That always works out for me. Whenever I schedule sessions with readers, even if it's booked 3 months afterwards, for some reason, I just know that was the perfect time, and like what evolves. And I'm glad I waited, and I'm glad I didn't ask that question then, because that's already changed. And look where I am. And now it's clear. It's amazing. It happens every time. So I was relaxing the timing of that. Aurora, can we get into the process now?
We totally can.
Let's do that.
And what I was told or guided to do was to share these, what I was guided to do was share the mantras so that people like if you're all spaced out in a meditation, you don't want to be listening for a mantra and then try to write it down in the middle of a meditation. So tokama is to ground. Tokama. 3 words. Tokama. Tokama. And it's said almost with a masculine force behind it to pull you out of some energy that's not grounded, right? And honestly, I see in my mind's eye what feels like a First Nation energetic from the stars, who's like stamping his feet and saying, Tokama. Like he's like really intense with this energy. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually shows up for our meditation in that way. But it's, again, when we want to ground, we want to feel our bodies. We're not here to be off planet, even though a lot of us wish we could be a lot of the time. That means that we're not aligning with why we're really here. Because it's my awareness that when we're living our purpose, our authenticity, and our truth, we actually are really happy to be here and recognize how fast and how short our lives are in the span of an infinite experience, right? We're an infinite experience having a finite experience. So when we realize that that's really who we are, being here actually is such a gift, and we've chosen it. We've chosen to be part of a quantum leap. Like, come on, guys, this is awesome. I know it's hard sometimes, don't get me wrong, but it's when we work with these tools, we start to really feel into the blessings. We have so many blessings. So Tokama is the grounding, and you guys are going to laugh at this one. I'm laughing at it. Bori bori shishi, bori bori shishi, bori bori shishi. That's our abundance, our joy, our energy for calling in. Exactly. Who's that? That's Reb. Thanks, Reb. That was awesome. Yes, we are moving to this energy, right? We're almost, it's almost meant to be a dance on purpose. Again, like a stomp of the feet versus like a shake of the body. Bori bori shishi, bori bori shishi. It's meant to bring in the energetic awareness that everything is abundant. Everything. There are as many cells in our body as stars in the Milky Way. Can you believe that? As many cells in our body. As we can't even fathom who we are as quantum beings. Right? All time is now. There is more space in everything around us than anything solid, but the mind doesn't believe that. So all of these practices, all of these tools that we're being gifted are being brought to us so that we can help the mind connect in new ways. We don't want to think the 90% that we thought yesterday, because if that's true, then everything's going to hell in a handbasket and we're done. May as well throw in the towel now, right? But no, not right. We have so much to look forward to. We have so much to co-create. We are co-creating a new paradigm. We're watching the old one crumble to pieces. And we've got a ways to go. It's not going to be that fast. But the things that we can change that fast are here. And then as we lead as being the example, we create the ripple in all time space, right? One of the things I always share, our Akashic came in this life to be completely erased, and write the word freedom or liberty or justice or whatever words you feel that you want to embody in this now. Freedom for me is a big one. I'm an Aquarius too, Oksana, with an Aquarius rising. So it's all about freedom, freedom, freedom. It's really important for us to make choices and recognize that we have the ability to make them. And for the highest of all concerned is still part of our freedom, right? And we haven't figured that piece out yet. We're still working on that, and that's okay. But it really, I'd like to drive this point home before we start the meditation. It can only be for our highest if it's also for the highest of everyone. We have forgotten how interconnected every single one of us is to one another. And we are. There is no separation. When we harm another, we harm ourselves. So the imperative energetic memory is, first, I'm going to make decisions that are making my life better and better for the earth and better for my community, right? We start this way and we work this way. And even if your community work is holding peace, like Oksana talked about, smiling at a neighbor, helping a neighbor, holding the door open for someone, right? Those small acts, heaven is doing a party every time we do one small act. To the powers that be, to the all that is, they're like, that's why we're here, right? That's all they want. That for them is the hugest victory, is when we can be in our hearts. So yeah. And so it is.
And so it is. So beautiful. So I feel it building up. Where are you taking us, Aurora?
Well, okay. I love that you talked about dragons, because I'm like, he's coming out. Dragon Ball is coming out.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Okay, but I'm going to keep him here for a moment, and I've got to move my crystal skull over here. Got all the crystals out for today's show. Everybody wanted to play. So, okay. So what I'm going to ask is for everyone to take 3 deep but gentle breaths, and to ground into the space where you are. Really feel your body. Even if there's anywhere you're feeling resistance in your body, you can just observe it and not worry about it at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my space, and I'm going to ask everyone to set up their space as well. So just know that if I call in an energy that you don't feel aligned with, it's okay. Just, put it aside and call in your own teams of light. This is all about empowerment, okay? I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, Lord Metatron, Melchizedek, and Saint Germain to please be the 4 pillars of light in this room, this home, and this property. And anchoring in as above, so below, to hold a beautiful container for all this soul family that has gathered today. Thank you, beloveds. And I'm going to call in all of our ancestors from all time space, all of the wisdom that they carry for us and with us. Thank you, beloveds. Calling in all of our angelics, the seraphim, the cherubim, the elohim of peace, the White Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Light, the Archangelics, and all angels that are working with humanity in this now moment. We're going to call in all of our ascended loving beings, all the masters that have walked before us, mastered being in human form. And we're going to call in our star brothers and sisters. And we're going to call in the diamond platinum plasma light of source to be the capstone as above, as we call in Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, as her own consciousness in the so below. Thank you, Mother. Ooh. And we're going to welcome in Gaia's kingdoms of light, the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, crystal kingdom, all seen and unseen, inner earth, middle earth, all the beings of the water and the air and the fire. And we call in specifically the energy of the phoenix with deep reverence and gratitude for the journey that we will take with you. And we ask that the diamond platinum plasma light of source be so below, so that we are now in a diamond container of energy where we ask that all of our beloved beings guide us, direct us, protect us. Good. So I'm going to ask that each one of us now in this moment connect to our source self, to our soul, to our higher self, authentic self. I'm going to call that frequency in through the crown, and we're going to ask that energy to anchor deep within our body. And it's okay if you don't see it and you don't feel it. Know that your intention is very powerful. So simply by calling it in, it is so. You command your energy field. And there is a phoenix that is showing up on behalf of all of us. And they are perfectly balanced in their frequency, in divine feminine and divine masculine. And this is a ruby red, beautiful phoenix with pink flames holding the space of unconditional love. So what you're going to do is just allow yourself to take deep breaths as if they're coming in through the center of the heart. And imagine now that your phoenix is coming towards you gently. And with each breath, you are integrating the phoenix in through the heart center. And on the exhale, your phoenix energy is expanding throughout your body. If you're feeling any resistance to this, that's okay. No judgment. Just continue to breathe in the energy of love, and that's all you need. And as you continue to breathe in the energy of the phoenix, on the exhale, you may start to feel their energy, balance energy within you, your own masculine and your own feminine within. Maybe you've been feeling like you have to protect yourself. And so you've been leading with a very powerful masculine energy. Or maybe you've just been giving all of your energy away, doing so much for others. We're going to ask that this energy now get balanced within you. Right? When we're overly in our feminine energy, we're often exhausted and giving and doing for others too much without taking care of our own energetic field. And when we're in our very powerful masculine energy, oftentimes we may come across as aggressive because we want to draw a boundary, but we can do that all with love and balance. And in the center, in the heart of the phoenix, is a golden light. And this golden light is now connecting in with our heart center. This is the golden Christed light of our Christed consciousness and beingness in this human experience. I'm seeing some of you expand really far out with your phoenix. That's totally fine. Just remember that you're toggled to Mother Gaia. She's part of our experience. And in this now moment, I'd love for each one of us to set an intention for someone in our lives who may need our assistance. And we're just going to ask that this energy of love of the phoenix be sent to them only for their highest and only to hover around them, right? We're going to send it to their higher self. If it is permitted and allowed, it will go directly to them. And if they're not yet ready to receive it, it will go to their source, higher self, and simply be there. For should there come a time for them to accept it, it will go to them. Oh, that's beautiful. And now I'm going to ask you to set an intention for yourself. You have this beautiful, unconditional love, light, balanced energy of the phoenix flowing through and around you. What can you give gratitude for as if your phoenix is helping you receive it? And if you don't know in this now moment, that's okay. Simply continue to receive this beautiful, unconditional love. Good. And now we're going to put forth an intention for Mother Gaia, for our planet and all its inhabitants. Amplifying our frequency, our intentions with the beautiful energy of the phoenix and all of the beautiful ascended beings that are joining us from all time space. allowing yourself to continue to breathe. And feel love wash over you and through you. Bratsarake tara iacha oka porpa atsai. Tanakurye ayaka ocha parpa kotsaye shemesh paata fokra ichaya to. Samani yo ya e ya. Shuramatsaya ka urba anta iayatsaka. Tormima ayo. Arneva acha ikayo ta atsa kia. Tokama, 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 Tokama. Oriya ya sana heya yata ikorbaya ya ura hatsa iya ka icho pa ura baya kotsa ayana hiya ya buri buri shishi buri buri shishi buri 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 shishi hayayi Surka aya atsa ikorbaya akino nahayo ar ayats. Allowing yourself now in your mind's eye to see a beautiful rainbow colored light beginning at the crown and weaving a cocoon of harmony, of alignment, of alchemy, of ascension, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And when you feel this process is complete, you may open your eyes and come back to the space.
Aurora, that was beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. And when you got into Surshur Shishi, it's like I felt the chills going up my spine and the energy running through. And I was taken in by the integrity and the efficacy of your light language, of the codes you transmit, and really tuning into that. So it was so notable to me. So impressive. And again, the activation was profound. And the activation, and again, the integrity and the proficiency and efficacy of the way that you transmit it is just so beautiful and so, again, effective. Wow. Yeah, we're going to run the replay. We'll send the replay link out a little bit later tonight. And of course, the special offer of Aurora. We've gone through it. The link will be in the chat box one more time. I'm sure April's typing it in now. So y'all go deeper, Aurora, and God, what you're going to receive from this is amazing. Hey, April, you put in not the link, but a bio for Dee Wallace, who's on tomorrow, which is amazing. But there you go. Which is amazing. Aurora, before we end tonight, what was your translation of the transmission that was coming through in light language? Do you have a translation for it, or is it up to our interpretation and what we're ready to receive?
I try not to interpret it only because it's really meant to bypass the mind, but it's an energetic awareness that we're all going to be okay. It's like we came here to do this, and we're what I'm getting is like we're armed, but armed is not the right word. Like we're prepared. We have the tools, we have the DNA coding, and we simply need to, like the first energetic was that masculine energy that wants us to be diligent and vigilant and committed to our purpose, right? We're here to do all of that and to really be authentic and to be in our joy.
The integrity of that. And equipped is the word that we have everything we need.
Equipped. Thank you. Perfect.
We have everything we need. There's nothing that we're lacking. We have everything that we would need and so much more.
Yeah.
And we can MacGyver with everything that we have and create so many things also. It's amazing.
Clip in some bubble gum.
Amazing what we can conjure with that. Oh my God, Aurora, this was amazing call today. Thank you so much. The consciousness of the Phoenix, you're tapping into my tree of life, the readings that you gave, the light language and the frequency, and there's just the light mantras. It's there's so much. Y'all come back and listen to the replay. You have to. You just have to. Amazing. Was there something else you were about to say?
No. I just realized like in the chat, there's 60 comments. It's like, whoa. Hi,
There's
everybody.
a lot of questions to come through, and y'all can read the comments later and all that, and we can get into it. And I just trust the energy flow here. It's so beautiful, and I feel activated as well. So, Aurora, thank you.
Thank you
for coming on. Amazing special offer, and what a beautiful community y'all are here. Thank you all so much. Let your Phoenix rise, fly, fly, fly. I love you guys. Bow into each and every one of you. Namaste. To you too, my sister, my love, Aurora. Y'all have a fantastic evening.